Hello guys, this is going to be a quick review by the Mattel Lightyear XL-01 um, Buzz Lightyear movie. Um, this is going for $32, I believe. This is a really great toy vehicle, um, and it's going to be a really quick review because I bought it to be customized so I can fit my 6-inch GI Joe in it, and I'll show it to you. Obviously it's a little too small, so I have to modify a few things, but for $32 you have this great ship that's not even like hollow. It's really it's really well built. It's even got some play features where this thing pops off. Here's the canopy. It opens like that. This is what the inside looks like. This is the landing gear to the front, so that's basically the limit of where you can put it. You can maybe put the feet over here, but that's basically it. It'll be stopped. There's no way you can cut that off without destroying this landing gear, which goes like this. There isn't any way. The only way you can do is like extend it, but anyway, I'll show you what my plan is for this one later on. But this is a great ship. It's got a lot of details for $32, man. Yeah. I think 1/18 his tank from Hasbro was $40. But it had a pilot with it. This one did not come with a pilot. I already pre-assembled it. It's a really cool ship, to be honest. Yeah. Nice features and everything. And you don't even need to repaint it because the color is perfect for a GI Joe vehicle. I probably still will though. But yeah, landing gear and everything. So I have two of these. Sorry about the jiggly wiggly. What I'm going to do, there's a bunch of screws. Screw in here, screw in here. 1, 2, 3. There's a bunch of screws in here. You do not need to remove all of it because it doesn't really matter, because inside the structure they've glued it together to the point where you cannot disassemble the bottom from the top part. There's no way you can disassemble it. The only thing you can disassemble once you remove the screws is this wing part, and obviously these ones that you put in this one. You don't need to because you're not touching anything in here, right? By the way, that's the end of the review. This is now the customization part. There's not much to review in it. It's great. Let me see. Let me put in. I forgot to do it. Let me put in one of my Cobras here to show you. Yeah, that's all you can do to make that fit. It's not gonna close. Some people, what they do is they'll bend the knee and have them like kind of like this. You can let me take off. And see how he's bent the knee and everything like that. Squeeze him in, and then he will fit. Maybe not this figure, but he'll fit. You see. Now if you're not good at customizing stuff or you haven't never tried it before, yeah, it will pass. It's just I don't really like that. Right? So now, okay, so that's the end of the review. Here's the plan. Initially, I was gonna cut this off here. I was gonna extend it, and that would basically give me the leg room that I needed. And but then I thought of a different way. What I started thinking is like, if I can cut off this part, I'd drop it and I'd extend a little bit so it sits a little bit lower, and that might be enough. Confused? Probably, because I'm probably not explaining it very well. I bought two of these. This is actually the second one. I had to wait until he came until I can show you what I've done And this is not just a review, this is going to be a part of before and after. It's still not done, and showing the tools that I use, and I'll demo some of them because there's one that's really helpful. Okay, here's the new one, here's the old one, right? Okay, maybe I should put this one in so you can I can compare what it looks like without custom. Okay, he'll fit in there. It's just I'm just kind of impatient. That's what it looks like. This is what he looks like now with the mod that I've done. I've created this smaller cockpit, extended it. I've given him a proper wheel, or what do you call that? Anyway, it's not done. I haven't painted it or anything. This is by magnets, so I can actually remove this because you have to remove it so it can fit. Notice it's just sitting flush now. So I have not finished with this custom yet, but I'll show you. It sits in just fine. And what I did was this. I know it's ugly. I haven't finished it. The wheels work. I cut off this part. I dropped it. I added a few plastic styrene to make sure it's steady, and then I'll cover it up and I'll make it all nice. I'll shoot another video again later on. This is my first attempt when I wanted to cut it. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. See this cut here? You almost cannot tell that there is a saw cut that I did on this piece. Okay, this might be more visible, but I haven't sanded this. I haven't done anything. Look at how almost clean that cut is. You can't even tell, right? Anyway, I'll show you the tool that I used, and I'll do a demo for you. So if you guys are interested, it's really, look at how thin that cut is. Okay, so and then what I found out is this well over here. If I'm comparing to the new one, I'm going to remove this one because we don't really need it for comparison anymore. See, this is actually going to hit the shoulders, so I had to remove that on this one. The chair I removed because it's so small, it's ridiculously small sized anyway. Okay. I'm gonna construct a seat that goes all the way back there, and then once I cover this up, I'm gonna just do a little flat small floor in there to make it look nice when the pilot's not there, but it's probably always gonna be there anyway, but you know, just in case. I'm gonna clean this up. This is gonna be an intake or an outtake. Still haven't decided here. So, having gone through that, I'm gonna put it aside for now. Okay. Now we're gonna segue to the tools that I use for my customs. There are a lot of tools you can use. You need things to cut with, obviously. This is a hobby nippers, very sharp. My magnet and some screws stuck to it. This is a small saw, hobby saw, that you can buy on Amazon. It's a bunch of group of them. This is a regular hobby knife. This is a jewelry saw. This is the one that made that very thin cut that you can't even tell. And I'll demo. This is the only one I'm gonna demo for you guys because once you see it, I think it's really gonna convince you. It's really cheap, like $10, and it's a bunch of saws included in it. $10, maybe $20. And look at how many saws comes with it. If you're not, it takes a little bit of learning curve on how to use it, because if you're not careful and you're forcing it, it's gonna snap because it's so thin, so thin. Sorry for the jiggling. You need a pen to mark your cuts. Sandpaper. This is 60 grit, I believe. The smaller the grit, the rougher the sand paper. So I need something really rough to modify the edges and all that stuff. Here's another sandpaper, block sandpaper. I'm not sure what grit this is, but I use that quite a bit. A ruler, another cutting tool. Something to grip with sometimes, that works. Your screwdriver, flat and Phillips. Another sandpaper. I think this is a nail file, but I have one specifically for hobbies. A pair of pliers, so when you're cutting into your polystyrene, once you've made your cuts, you just basically warp it a little bit and then it will snap. I just learned that recently. Glue. This one. It's just basically your instant glue that bonds in like 6 seconds. Gorilla Glue. This is what I use if I want to make sure it's very strong. This is strong, but the bond, if it's not perfectly bonded, it might not create a very strong hold. It will appear like it is, but it might just be holding on like 2 spots instead of the whole length. This will do it. Use the clear variation because the clear Gorilla Glue does not expand. This one does. The white Gorilla Glue and the regular Gorilla Glue, it expands. What does that mean? Well, I'll show you. On this one, when I made this had barely any glue in it. See how it is expanded? It's got a foam expansion. That's what regular Gorilla Glue does. It expands. Look. So now I have to deal with cutting this off. See? The other glue, the clear glue, does not do that. It fills some gaps, but not like that. That's crazy. The other type of glue I use is sorry about that. Hot glue gun. So sometimes you just wanna glue something really quick, but this won't do it because it needs to have an absolute bond. This will allow you to glue things that are not really fit together, but you just need something to hold it until either the clear glue sets, which you probably need like 30 minutes in that one. This sets after it's dry or it's cooled down. So I have that. I also use a Dremel tool for if I'm impatient with sanding rough edges, then I'll use my Dremel tool. I have a bunch of stuff that I use, some heads. I have the small saw. I've used this very sparingly because with plastic it destroys it more than it cuts. It's a very, very rough cut. Here's another edge of that knife that I was talking about that I attached to my knife blade. Yeah. Anyway, what else? So that's basically most of the tools that I'm currently using for my modding. Aside from this is my tool holder from my previous work.
I'm reminding you. Medication.
Sorry about that. It's my 8 o'clock medication reminder.
I'm reminding you.
So these tools are basically deals with sculpting tools. Since I have so many types of tools at my disposal, I can, if I ever need to do something, then I have so many to draw from. So this is my sculpting tool set that I sometimes pick out of if I need certain things. Right, so that's it for that. Let me show you. This is gonna be a long demo, but I'm hoping this will work. Avert your eyes while I move the camera. So I've already taken the screws here, and here. That's all you need, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a cut right here, because these two, there are two posts of plastic that basically is welded between this part and that part. That's gonna prevent you from separating these two halves. It doesn't matter how many screws you're gonna take off, they're glued together like crazy. Okay, the camera is gonna be wobbly. I'm gonna try to make it so it's not. Let me see if I'm trying to remember. Notice that I made the cut here on this one, and see the stretch mark. That's because that's still connected to that one. So I believe if I cut it a little further down, I'll cut it the tip of that. That should be enough to release it. So here's the cut. So you think it's not cutting? You really think it's not cutting, right? Because, come on, it can't be cutting. I'm telling you, it's cutting. You almost think, man, it's like so slow. But if you were to try this with a regular knife, it would take forever. So, look, it's already, you probably can't see that. Yeah, you can see it. Anyway. Alright, I'm just gonna keep on cutting. You don't want to apply pressure. If you're applying pressure, there's a good chance you might break off the saw. Just move it back and forth. Let the blade cut into it. Let it make the cut. Alright? Look. It's cutting, trust me. The only disadvantage is because it's so small, there's a good chance that you're not even moving it. Obviously, the more movement you make, the better. The more you're cutting with. The other problem too is that because this is at an angle, you're more likely to be slower. Just keep cutting. The reason why this thing's taking a little bit longer is because you're cutting across. As you're cutting, you'll feel the resistance, or it suddenly starts biting faster. That's because you've gotten through this length already. Let's see. I don't do background music. Sorry. All you're hearing is the saw. I mean, obviously I play background music when I'm doing it on my own, but in my videos I don't. It hasn't gone through yet. It's very close. You might have to end up cutting a little bit more into that gray because the angle is messed up. Can you see the cut? Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but now this is this particular saw blade that I'm using is the thicker one, because the one that I showed you before, that was a little smaller one, so it would take a little bit longer. It feels like nothing's biting. It is. I took the big one because I figured you guys might not be patient enough to wait through the thinner one, but it would even be, the cut would be even more finer. This has gone through in certain spots. I can feel it. Once it's basically cutting through the thinness of that plastic, it will go so rapidly. I'm feeling some sort of resistance to the cut. The sudden change in how it sounds, it tells me I've gotten through a very long length here, and I'm basically cutting through the thinness of the plastic. You probably didn't hear the change in the sound of the cut, but as you get more experience, you'll hear it. You'll hear that change, and you'll know you cut through a big major part. See how soft it is? Then suddenly become boom, 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 boom. There, right there. Getting rougher again. Right, see? Where you can actually hear it cutting and stuff. That's a big cut right there. Let's see what happens. So, let's see. Move this up. Right there. See? Look at that. It's almost through. I hope you guys are still watching so you can see the result. Right there. I just cut. Now, why did I do this? Look at this. Look at those two posts. And they're glued. There's no way you can cut through that. But there's the cut. Right? And I'm going to put it in. Look at how small that cut is. Now, this blade that I'm using is the thickest blade to use for this saw. The thickest blade is the one that says 2-1. The one I was using is 3-0. The one I was using on the other one. And the cut, which is this one right here. And the cut it created compared to what you're seeing here is, if you can see it, it's this one. See, I was following this groove to hide it from there. There's no hiding that though, you know, but it's right there. You can see it, right? You can see the difference, right? Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys. That's basically it. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Why did I remove it? Because it's much easier to just cut this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut like this along this perimeter over here, over here, over here, over here, and I'll drop that down. Same thing as I did on this one. See? But this one, like I said, this was the first one, so I did a lot of learning. I made this cut way after. Okay, way after. What I initially did, I guess I'll tell you guys, at least you'll know why it seems like I'm doing it the hard way. I'm not. This was the easy way. The hard way is using this, and obviously there's nothing in there. You can drill a hole. I'm sorry. You can drill a hole where this can fit in and you start cutting it, but then you'd have a hole, which damages the bottom part, and I didn't want to do that. So what I had to do, use this and just do this over and over. Oh wait, this. See along that? It is removing. Can you see the small plastic that's coming out? Yeah. I kept on doing this until it finally punctured through, and then I used this to saw. Crazy. But sometimes That's what customizing is. You just do it and then go back and say, wait, I can do that so much faster if I can remove this. And then I made that cut. And now I'm showing you guys that this is the easier way of customizing this. Just cut this like that, remove it. I'm gonna remove this because that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Right? Once you've cut this, bring it down, and then you glue this part to this wall. It's ugly, I know, but you just need to see it. And then you create the small piece like this. It extends. It's gonna extend the control cockpit a little bit, and you're good to go. Anyway, guys, that's a quick demonstration, a quick customization, and a quick review of everything. I hope you're still here. I hope you'll watch some more. What I'm going to do, I'm still working on his tank, as you can see right there. I haven't done anything. My mind keeps getting flitted about with new projects and everything. So I'm trying to keep my attention focused into just whatever the current project is, so I can get something done. Anyway, sorry for the jiggly wiggly. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.